Hello.
Hey, it's the Krisha and Frank Show, and you're Krisha.
And you're Frank.
What are the odds? Where are you?
Crazy. I'm in my car at the back of Hatfield McCoy.
Oh, I'm sitting in your chair at the podcast Ponderosa.
Oh, I miss you, and I miss my chair.
Well, I won't break it. I'll be very careful with it.
Good.
So I guess we should explain.
Yeah, I mean, we owe people at least that much, right?
We have tens of listeners, if not dozens.
If I have to tell people that I spent a little bit of time in jail, then so be it.
Well, by jail you mean gainful employment and paying your bills. That's what you mean by jail.
That is what I mean. And I got a full-time job, as we've talked about before. And oh, buddy, was it a full-time job?
It was two full-time jobs because you were working almost 80 hours a week. And that's normally full-time is considered 40 hours a week, but when you get up into the 75-hour range, good gracious.
Right. Everyone, had their spring breaks. And during spring break in Pigeon Forge, it's busier and the volume and amount of people has quadrupled since this time 2 years ago.
Well, when I talk to my friend Bean in England, he can't believe it because they're still locked down. And I say, no, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park set an attendance record during the pandemic.
Correct. So to put it in perspective, at Hatfield McCoy, during peak, we do a maximum of 4 shows a day.
That's because half the seats are roped off in the theater, right?
Right, and that's a maximum. That's half capacity at 560 people per show.
So,
and we are sold out every single show.
Wow. But you're acting, you're on stage, you're running backstage when you're not acting, and you're running sound. You're in the theater.
I am 2 to 3 days a week on stage. When I'm not on stage, I am the backup, the secondary sound engineer, and I'm also the third backup to the stage management.
That's impressive.
So, yeah, I've been lighting people on fire, and yeah, it's awesome, except our scheduling unfortunately got away from us, and it meant that I got called in on an emergency day when I wasn't supposed to work.
And that was the day that we had planned to get caught up and do a bunch of podcast episodes. The next thing you know, it's like, there goes Krisha. Actually, it was the day we did Titanic, which was so much fun.
Which was right next door to my work, and it was my off day, and it turned into not my off day.
Yeah, we were planning to do some regular episodes after we recorded at Titanic, but instead you strolled across the parking lot at 9:30 in the morning and went to work for 12 hours.
We did. But the thing is, we are now, peak has gone down. So our capacity has gone down. Our shows have gone down. So we're a little bit back as of right now, this moment when I'm sitting in my car still at work.
Which is the only reason you got a long enough of a break to come out and talk to me. So I appreciate that.
Correct. Hi, I miss you. And I just want to apologize to our tens of followers that missed us and make a promise that there's so much more of us. There's so much more.
Well, we have some catching up to do, and we are going to do all of that in the days ahead. We have more Seymour Smokey's Adventures to record. We have more regular podcast episodes to do because that's so much fun. And we do it because we love it. And I've got a backlog of stories to tell you, and I'm sure you've got a backlog of stories to tell me.
I do, and what I would love to hear about is something that I teased on our Facebook page when we had to say, hey, delay of game, because you had some roofers at your house on the day we were supposed to be recording when I had the emergency work.
Right. If we had gotten in the car as planned and driven from Titanic to the podcast Ponderosa, as I'm calling it, we wouldn't have been able to record here anyway. We would have had to have found another location because that's the day that the roofers showed up, and they don't necessarily tell you what day they're coming. On Monday of last week, the shingles were delivered into the driveway. In fact, you were here that day when the shingles arrived. We were recording episodes, actually. Yeah. Then the next day, the big dumpster comes into the driveway, and I'm blocked. They knock on the door at 8 in the morning and say, you better move your car because we're about to park a huge dumpster in front of your garage. So that was good. But then still, you don't know when the roofers are going to show up until on Wednesday when I got home from Titanic. There they were.
And what happened?
Well, they roofed. But in the course of this roofing, I'm now thinking, well, maybe I should take a nap or something, and which is stupid because my bedroom's on the second floor. So I'm laying there, and there's the banging and the pounding. And then I just hear something is odd, something is off, just sounds wrong. And I go up and I walk around, and you can kind of just sense that there's a breeze of fresh air coming in to the bedroom from the master bathroom. And the master bathroom, it's just a tiny little area, with a toilet and a shower and a little one of those pocket doors. And I thought I heard birds. So I go over there, and I see a ray of sunshine coming through the ceiling. And I look again, and I see a man's hands coming through the ceiling. Apparently, I don't know if they dropped a tool or there was just a board out of place. And remember, I have a roof that was in poor shape, apparently. I mean, they just kept laying layers on top of it. They just kept patching it, not even patching it, just putting a new layer on top. So it had maybe 3 layers of roof up there. So it was secure in that nothing got through, but it's not up to code. If I were to sell the house, I would have to replace this. So something else not up to code is happening there. In the course of them replacing this piece of plywood above the toilet, the guy dropped something.
I'm glad you weren't.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if I were sitting there, because the piece of ceiling just whooshes down, caves in, and all of that gray, disgusting insulation that they just blow in on your attic starts cascading down, and fills the toilet and piles up on the floor. And now I've got a hole in the ceiling. Now, the hole in the roof, there isn't really a hole in the roof. They removed a piece of wood. They're about to replace it. We're putting a new roof up there. But I'm still waiting for them to come back to fix my ceiling. Because,
so you can see the roof through the ceiling of your bathroom now?
Yes, and yesterday, I heard these just wind sounds. It's just I'm not used to, what is that noise? It was a very windy day, and you hear these unusual wind sounds.
You had a haunted house.
I do have a haunted house. So that needs to be fixed, but the total job isn't done yet either, because part of this whole thing is the gutters are bad, and they were rotting out the fascia boards. So all 3 of those things have to get done. And phase 1 is the roof, and then next, I guess, is the gutters or the fascia, whatever. Whatever happens, happens.
Oh, you dad side.
But at least I'm paying dearly for the privilege.
You don't have to pay to have them fix the ceiling, though, do you?
No, I'm just saying overall, you're paying quite a bit of money for a new roof, a new gutters, and a new fascia board. But they'll replace the ceiling for free. But yay!
Yay.
The piece of ceiling that they're replacing is not even as big as the table where we record. It's maybe half that size. It's the size of a card table, a fold-up card table, if that.
Right.
Probably even smaller.
Okay.
But it's just annoying. Yeah.
I like ceilings.
You know where they don't have problems like this, Krisha?
I am going to guess that it's at the Middleburg barn.
You're absolutely right. That is such rustic luxury. If they wanted a feeling of a toilet with an open-air breeze, they would do it on purpose, not accidentally.
Right. It's not like the barn that I work in that's a pretend barn. It's a real, beautiful, and built beautifully, because they used the old style of building. There are no nails in that barn.
Right, the mortise and tenon, I call it.
Oh, yes. And that chandelier, we don't have one of those.
Swarovski crystal. Well, that's true, because this is, when you're working at the pretend barn at Hatfield and McCoy, you're going for that rustic Kentucky look. This is going for the most affluent county in America look, in Loudoun County, Virginia, 25 minutes away from Dulles Airport, 40 miles west of Washington, D.C., a winner of Wedding Wire's awards for Couples Choice. Yeah, it is just glorious. They call it the Gucci barn in one of the many, many reviews of it.
That's awesome. So if you're looking to, have a destination wedding, or just have a really cool party to celebrate the fact that, maybe you're working a lot and maybe you get some time off and you would like to have a party.
Knowing that they use the ultraviolet disinfectant light and the HVAC system, they've got the outdoor verandas, they've got comfortable seating, they've got all the things nestled against the Blue Ridge Mountains in Hunt Country of Virginia. The MiddleburgBarn.com. Call 540-687-5255 and ask to speak to Maureen.
Ask to speak to Maureen, and she'll put you on with the swans. So what else is going on, Frank?
Well, it's been a busy time. Jerry had gone out of town to visit the grandkids and is back now. But she had a lovely visit with Artie and everyone, and Timmy and Charlie and all that. And they've all gotten their Krisha and Frank T-shirts for Easter as Easter presents.
Right.
Because we forgot to mention, by the way, you can buy our swag, buy our merch at KrishaandFrank.com. and you can be as fancy as the Rocket Boys.
Oh yeah, what a good plug there, Frank. Good thinking.
When we get back to the video episodes, I guess when you're not in your car and when I put on a nicer shirt, we can do a video episode and drop in some photos of all of the stuff that we're talking about.
I have on the classiest of overalls right now, I'll have you know.
Well, I got hot and I took off my sweatshirt and I'm just sitting here in an undershirt, so that's disgusting. But I'll tell you that when we did the episode last week where I revealed that Artie had gotten a little anxious maybe about the magic kit and didn't want his brothers to see it and went off to his room by himself. So apparently I told all this. Well, Artie watched the episode. I get a FaceTime from Artie, and I'm told that he was embarrassed by this. In fact, then he tells me himself that he found this embarrassing. And then he says to me, "Yes, Grandpa, it was TMI."
You got to be careful, man. You got to be careful when you talk about people because you might, accidentally... Yeah.
So Megan, his mother, says, "Yeah, tell me about it." Because I'm like, "What?" She says, "Yeah, well, you told on the radio, which had, one of the top stations in Los Angeles, apparently, announced on the radio that she liked to listen to Sound of Music when she would go to bed." I'm like, "Yeah, so what? How is that bad?" So I don't know yet. Apparently, when later in a private conversation between Megan and me, I'm going to find out how that was bad that 25 years ago I revealed on the radio that Megan listens to Sound of Music. I guess that's embarrassing when you're in middle school, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's totally. I mean, high on a hill with a lovely girl, lovely. Her friends are probably listening to Beyonce and all of that, and she's like, "High on a hill with a lovely girl."
Well, that's the influence of her mother. That's Jerry's fault.
It's a wonderful, beautiful influence, but for a middle schooler's dad to out her on the radio,
I know.
That's a... Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll also then I may as well double down and tell you that apparently at Artie's birthday party, he's doing the disappearing ball in the cup trick, and he said it worked fine until he lost the ball. Like, oh no, he had to stop doing the trick because he lost the ball. Thankfully, they found it the next day, but.
Good.
I guess that's another lesson learned, I hope, that first of all, don't do embarrassing things when Grandpa's on FaceTime. And and secondly, take care of your magic tricks.
Oh, my God. Yeah, Grandpa can't be trusted.
Nope.
Grandpa's going to air out your business.
Yeah, Grandpa probably has the podcast topics file open on his phone while we're talking,
Can't be trusted. Oh, love his cute little heart. Speaking of losing things, I lost the key to the battery sound closet here at work.
Ooh.
And let me tell you, when that happens in the middle of a 4-show day, it makes you lose your mind a little bit.
Yeah, you got to get one of those key
Ask me where it
tags
was.
that can beep and click. Where was it?
Is in my pocket.
Oh. You're just not used to those overalls yet.
I'm not. And it was actually, and that's funny because it was in the top pocket of my overalls. I slid it into the top, the chest pocket.
Yeah, plenty of room.
I slid it into that because there's this dude.
What? Did I say something? I think I heard there was a mistake. Something happened.
If you've watched our show before, you know the look I'm giving Frank right now. Son of a. Yeah, so in my very baggy chested overalls, I put the most important key that I need for my day, and then spent a solid 20 minutes digging and freaking out because I couldn't progress with my day without it.
Yesterday, I swear this is true, I was watching one of our episodes to check for something, and I got a suggested ad in the middle of it. Where was I watching? Somehow, or maybe at the end, I got a suggested ad on YouTube for bras for small-chested women. And I thought, why am I getting this ad? I don't understand.
Seriously?
I'm not kidding. I watched half the ad. I wanted to see how it ended.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why you want it.
Well, why would I get that ad? Unless, it's the account that we share, so it's possible. They intended it for you, not me.
You would get that ad because we've talked about my lack of bosonement on our show numerous. We even have a promo where you make fun of it, where it's cut in 2 times that your son-in-law made.
That's a good point. So that's probably why, it turned up in the metrics somehow for our account.
I'm doing my part to help other small-chested women in the world that watch YouTube.
Well, good. We should maybe get one of those affiliate marketing deals with this underwear.
We should. I need some brassieres.
I wish I could say I made that up, but I was astounded. I'm like, why? What? Huh? Oh, hello?
I need bras. Okay, so.
Well, I didn't save the name of the advertiser. I'll just keep clicking on our videos until it comes up again.
Well, I'm sure it'll pop right up. Unfortunately, I now must go back into my barn and wrangle some musicians because they're impossible to wrangle.
Well, we recorded an episode, so yay us.
Do you remember when you and I had a conversation about symphony performers and, they're very particular and they can be, I don't want to out anyone, but specifically like symphony contract performers can be a little difficult to manage, and I don't mean that they're bad people. I just mean that they're very particular because they're musicians and they have to have things.
If you've seen that show Mozart in the Jungle, it's not a parody. It's a very accurate representation of how some musicians are. There's many types of musicians, but these persnickety ones that you're talking about certainly exist.
I am going right now, this moment, to wrangle the bluegrass version of that.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm going to go make sure that those tunes.
Well, good luck with that.
Thank you. And again, we will be back. Give us a couple more days. We're back. We're doing the things. We've figured it out. I am not as stressed, and Frank isn't having to go potty with a new skylight.
Well, at least I internalize the stress, and it just drives me to an early grave. So at least you don't have to worry about me ever snapping at you.
I'm pushing you closer to the funeral that I get to attend, so.
Well, you can tell everyone it was his own darn fault,
Yeah.
No matter what I did, he just internalized that stress.
Should have just yelled a little.
There you go. All right. Break a leg.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. We'll talk tomorrow.
It is the Krisha and Frank Show. You can check out audio podcasts at the audibletrial.com/Krisha and Frank. Please do also visit our website, KrishaandFrank.com. You can go ahead and hang up anytime. I'll just do the nonsense to get us out of here.
I'm here.
All right. And we're on all of the different social media platforms. Keep an eye on our Seymour Smokies. Thanks for your support, especially through this rough patch where it's just been crazy times because of Krisha's high-end demand. I didn't even get to talk about my insane schedule the next couple of days, but I'm into crunch time, a 3-day crunch time only, and then I'll be back a little more relaxed on Thursday. So keep us in your thoughts and prayers because
we are nose to the grindstone, y'all.
Right, we're doing paid jobs so we can support the podcast. That's how pretty much it works out. And so thanks a lot for listening. It's the Krisha and Frank Show.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I can't do anything funny with my body, so I'll just say bye.
Bye.
I just took off my bra.